We got to talk about iPhone 16 briefly. I don't want to dwell on it. We spoke a bit about it last week, and I can confidently say that I think everything we said before the event is still true about what actually happened in the event. But one thing I did want to say as a coda, maybe to that episode we did last week, I watched the event. I'm free admission. I do enjoy watching them as a piece of content, but this one, and I think this sentiment was kind of across the board from what I could see from a lot of the news stories and just some of the forums I've seen, that it really was boring. And that's, again, not to detract from the fact that, we're talking about pretty amazing technology here and all of that sort of thing. But ultimately, this event, more than any other that they've done, and considering this is the marquee event for them, all the other events they do don't really generate the level of interest from the wider mainstream public, because the iPhones is what most normal people are going to pay attention to, not Mac announcements or iPad announcements or anything like that. And the fact that, I was skipping through bits, aside from the phones, not the thing with the phones is that they really weren't different enough. Yeah, okay, it's got a camera control button, or it's got one's got a 48 megapixel extra camera or whatever. That's great. I've got nothing against like the introduction of those features. It's just that it was so incrementally small compared to last year that it just didn't justify even an event. It almost felt like it could have been done by press release. And yes, okay, we'll get into the Apple Intelligence stuff because that was really the marquee feature, but that's not even being released with the phone. If you pre-order the phone and you get it like next week, I think they arrive next week, it's not going to be on your phone. So,
and this was my sort of feeling on it too. Look, Apple, if you look at all the post-glow time press releases, Apple keeps on headlining, this is a new phone built from the ground up. Well, it's very lovely you put a new chip in and, shifted, I don't know, where the antenna is or whatever else they did. It's got a great chip in it, fantastic, 30% faster, 20% better battery life. Oh, I'm loving it all. But it's a software-driven upgrade. And I think this draws a line in the sand. So what they've effectively done is that probably in the next 3 to 4 years, I'll have to upgrade my 3-year-old phone to take advantage of the new Apple features. But like you say, it's a software upgrade, and there's nothing exciting about software upgrades.
one other thing I wanted to mention, and I knew this is where the event was officially becoming boring, was actually the Apple Watch announcement, because they made this big deal about it being a complete redesign. And as soon as because usually what they do is, here's the new Apple Watch, and then they do like a slick little visual introduction of the watch, and I looked at it and goes, looks exactly the same as the last one. Now, that's not to be, obviously it was redesigned. It was, they did manage to make it thinner for something that is already very small and all that. And look, I'm sure it's a great watch. I'm not saying it's not a great watch, because it is amazing what they can do with that. But again, it's like, don't go out and say that it's like a massive redesign or anything like that. And it almost felt like it was tired. Like, we've been hearing this the last couple of years. All new design, whatever, pick your product, they say it every time. I felt more excited when they've done Mac announcements in the last couple of years, to be perfectly honest, because they've been genuinely, pushing things with the Apple Silicon side of things. But this is just, and again, just say it for what it is, rather than, but again, they have to do PR. They have to, spin the story, and they're obviously maybe that's too much to ask of them, really.
Yeah, I know, and it gets also a bit icky when at the very root of the software upgrade is your Apple iPhone will now be able to do what a Pixel phone does.
Absolutely. We did get some vibrant new colors this year, at least, I guess.
Well, that's nice. I mean, when you're going to have a phone for 6 years, I guess you want it to look good.